So I've gone from a fairly high amount of carbs to doing a strict week of carnivore a couple of times now. And I feel that I have overcome a lot of the common issues, or found ways to overcome a lot of the common issues that do occur during that first week of carnivore. I'm not guaranteeing this will work for everyone, but this stuff did work for me anyway. So day one, going from a normal high carb diet to carnivore is generally the easiest day. Still have all your glucose stores in the liver and glycogen in the muscle and everything. And usually the first day on most of these sort of things are some of the easiest. I just sort of get a lot more peaceful and calm in that first day and have a pretty good sleep that night. It's the second day that things start kicking in. So the biggest issue at this point for me is the carb cravings and the diarrhea that happens. So the carb cravings, the biggest thing with carb cravings I found is the quicker you get into a deep ketosis, the easier the carb cravings are to deal with. So as soon as you get into full ketosis, generally they just disappear and I don't think about carbs anymore. So there's really only one way to do that, which is there's a couple of ways. You can go into the carnivore diet in ketosis already, but even then you'll still probably get some carb cravings. The best way is to just exercise. So the more you exercise, the more you deplete your storage, the sugar storage in the body, and the quicker you'll get into deep ketosis. Usually for me, the strong carb cravings last anywhere from 3 to 5 days. In this last week, it was about 4 or 5 days before they went away. But in the other time that I did it, it was only about 2 or 3 days. So that a lot of that is probably the amount of exercise and how many carbs you eat going into it and things like that. In terms of the diarrhea, I haven't really found a complete fix to it yet. The biggest thing for me, I can't eat ground beef because of the histamine content, but I did eat it the other day to test it out in terms of diarrhea, and it does help. So one thing that will give less diarrhea seems to be eating less fat. So eat less fatty meat like ground beef if you can tolerate it, and that should help with the diarrhea. Otherwise, it allegedly should reduce over about a 7 to 14 day period, which I'll see how that goes over the next 7 days. So that's the main issues over the first 2 or 3 days. I personally don't have any sleep issues on carnivore. I sleep better and deeper, if anything. In terms of nausea, I had the first time I went the first 7 days, I had really intense nausea for a couple of times after I would eat. And the best thing I found was not to drink water with the food I was eating. And also when you get the nausea, just to lie down and eventually it disappears. Other than that, the biggest issues, sometimes I guess I get some mood disturbances during the first few days. I get kind of maybe a bit crankier, but I haven't found a fix to that. I find most issues are fixed with exercise. So if you have mood issues, or if you can't sleep, or if you're getting cravings, just exercise and see how you go. Also, the first time I did strict beef only, I was eating beef liver as well, and I found that some things were less. I had less cravings, and the skin healing patterns were a little bit faster, not significantly though. I'm not sure if the liver had made a difference, but you could try it. Try eating maybe, I was doing about 100 grams of raw beef or lamb liver before I would eat my normal steak meal, and it's disgusting, but it may help with cravings and things like that, just fully satiating the body. Other than that, generally around the 5 and 6 day mark is when things start to settle down. I tend to sometimes get some crazy dreams about binging on carbs, which is unusual, similar to, because I used to drink a lot when I was younger, similar to when I quit drinking. You get a lot of dreams about drinking and doing drugs and things like that when you quit them. It's similar to that, I think, because carbs is essentially a pretty crazy ride of an addiction throughout your life, and take them away and your body tends to crave it a bit. Even though the cravings are physically gone, sometimes you dream about them. I think it's probably a way of the body dealing with the emotions associated with it. But that's not too hard to deal with. It doesn't really. I mean, I have the dream and wake up, and still I'm in full ketosis and I'm not craving any carbs. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I can think of in the first week. So hopefully that helps you guys.